It's hard to top the NASCAR Busch North Series. It's all coming your way from New Hampshire. The ThatLook.com 100 for the NASCAR Busch North Series coming next.
Brad Lace is the defending champion of the NASCAR Busch North Series, and he's the most recent Busch Grand National North winner here in New Hampshire, surviving a three-way battle for the win. He currently sits second in series points, and he starts third in today's race. Brad is all strapped in and getting set to go racing for 100 laps here at New Hampshire. Brad, you've been dominating at this facility. How come? What's the success key to this facility?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. The guys give me a very comfortable car to race the 100 or 125 laps, whatever it may be. Today's a 100 lap, and Loudon's been awful good to me. We took the championship on this track last year, and hope to carry that success rate through.
Gordon has been on fire this year. No, obviously not the Gordon we usually talk about. This guy is Tracy Gordon. He's your Busch North Series point leader, and at one point last month, he won 3 in a row. But Loudon has not been all that kind to Tracy Gordon. Tracy, I know you want to get that monkey off your back here at Loudon today.
Yeah, we got a really good car. We were good in practice. Broke a valve spring in qualifying. We got to get this tic-tac Monte Carlo up front and duke it out with these guys. We have good runs here, just don't have any luck.
The Busch North Series ThatLook.com 100 next on TNN Sports. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a beautiful day, and a huge crowd has made their way inside the New Hampshire International Speedway here in Loudon, New Hampshire for the ThatLook.com 100. This racetrack opened 10 years ago. We're just north of Boston, about 90 miles. When this racetrack did open, buddy, everybody said this is great for the race fans in New England, but they weren't the only ones that were happy.
You're exactly right. These drivers are your weekend warriors. Half-mile, quarter-mile racetracks, mostly every weekend. They had a chance to go and showcase their talents on a mile racetrack, a major speedway. And I'll tell you what, they put on a great race here.
And this is their New Hampshire International Speedway. Steve Burns, Buddy Baker, Ralph Sheheen, and Bob Dillner set to bring you the ThatLook.com 100. Buddy, let's take a look at the starting grid. We've got a couple of rookies on the front row. Martin Truex Jr., just 20 years old, alongside Mike Jackson.
Yeah, and they have a lot to work on. I'll tell you what, they're leading a very veteran field around here, so it's going to be interesting.
And in row 5, a couple of veterans, Denny Doyle and Teddy Christopher, who is driving for Randy LaJoie.
If you'll use my seat and like it.
Herb Druck there, the 90, Tracy Gordon. We heard from him a while ago. Tracy rode 9 and 10. Tom Bowles. Gary Martin starts in row 12. Row 13, Brad Bossino alongside of row in the 24. Wolf and Barber there. Rubenek, McCarthy, Friends, Mekalides. I think I got that right.
Yeah, Rubenek. I put him through driving school.
There you go. Row 22, Kip Stockwell from Vermont and Barney McRae. McRae had a clutch problem earlier. Let's check in right now with Ralph Sheheen before we go green.
Well, Steve, there are two things these teams probably will not need today, tires and gas. These American Racer bias fly tires should last the distance, and they should be able to go the distance on fuel as well, so they should not be visiting Bob Dillner or myself here today on pit road. Bob?
Ralph, we have an all-rookie front row, and that's a first for the Busch North Series. Martin Truex Jr., he's a rookie, a youngster on the front row. His dad has won here at Loudon, so he's going to try to follow in his dad's footsteps here today at the Magic Mile. All right, thanks, Bob and Ralph. Well, we'll keep you busy anyways, even if they don't visit pit road for gas and tires. 100 laps of racing. The pace car is headed for pit road, and we are set for the green flag.
turn 3, and that's the advantage of being on the pole. You start the race and you get ready to, and they just get right out there. They're running back down. There is a gap, even though this is only a mile racetrack. You get a lot of help down the straightaway race.
Martin Truex Sr. has a win on the NASCAR Busch Series. Came 6 years ago to the day. This is the first race Truex has led in this series. We're watching a battle for 11th and 12th right there, buddy.
Yeah, and that's Dale Shaw in the number 60. And he made a run at the Busch National Series one time, had a great run in South Boston, finished second there.
Remember, he almost beat Randy LaJoy. They had a great battle. Came side by side off of turn 4. He's moved back up to the north.
Yep, and that's guaranteed overnight delivery. If anybody's wondering what DOD stands for, well, you know what it stands for, but that's the call number.
John Barber there in the 32 got a little bit loose, and he's running against the 44, buddy, Dave Dion. He's a legend up here.
Well, the 44 there is Andy Santerre, and he is doing a great job right now as he comes out of the corner there. Andy Santerre has a lot of...
It's Dave Dion, my fault. Dave Dion on the 44, Andy Santerre is in the 11. Oh, no, you're right. Santerre in the 44. What am I talking about?
I was wondering. Yeah, that's Andy Santerre, and he had a great... well, he started out so well in Western Cup. You know, he was third place in Daytona and had a great career going. He got injured in Texas, and it took him out for about 6 months. So he's now on recovery and getting back.
Just running a limited schedule in the NASCAR Busch Series.
Well, you see these cars moving around a lot in the corner, and the reason they do that, they run a bias-fly tire. It's American racing tire, and it does not do like the regular tire that you're so used to seeing on the Winston Cup cars. These cars will flip around a little bit, but they're a lot of fun to drive because if you do cross them up, you can get them out just like that. So there's not a problem, and they will slide them through the corner.
Buddy, let's talk about the race cars themselves. They look almost identical to a NASCAR Busch Series car.
Well, they are very, very similar, other than just a few minor details. You know, motor-wise, they're about the same. The weight, even though they weigh the driver in this division, they don't weigh them in Busch National, but the cars are very similar. Biggest thing is there's a lot of great mechanics, great drivers that go through this series and then move into Busch National and then in Winston Cup later.
A lot of talent up here in the North Series. And buddy, as we talked about, Ricky Craven ran this series. He said that when this racetrack was built, it did open the door for talent because they were used to running on short tracks. Martin Truex Jr. leads here in New Hampshire. We'll take a quick break and be back. More action from Loudon, New Hampshire. Tape brought to you by www.wrenchhead.com. With millions of brand name auto parts and accessories to choose from, it's easy to prove you're a wrench head. Are you a wrench head? Wrenchhead.com. Parts online all the time. There you see Dave Dion in the 29 car. As I said, we're working caution. Dave Dion was the 96 champion. Let's check in now with Ralph Shaheen.
Well, he came down pit road, Steve, and they made some bodywork adjustments to the right side of Dion's car. They changed right side tires, pulled some sheet metal away from the tires, and sent him back out on his way. Crew doesn't seem too worried about there being anything but cosmetic damage to the car at this point. They're thinking about maybe possibly bringing him back in, and he does come back down pit road again. Now they're going to work on the back side of the car. They're looking at the right rear of the car.
Yeah, he had a Ralph, you couldn't see it, but there was something rubbing the right rear, and he spun out just at the entrance of pit road there. The right rear tire blew out on the car.
And let's take a look at the original incident that brought us under the caution flag. Joey McCarthy in car number 41, buddy. Let's take a look at what happened.
He comes up right there. He and Dave Dion in the 29 make contact. Dave Dion goes into the outside wall. McCarthy now trying to get control and goes back into the wall just with the right front corner there.
And buddy, he hit that wall hard twice.
Yes, he did, and it went down the wall, bang, 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 as he was trying to get it back straight.
Right underneath the flag stand. And, buddy, Joey McCarthy is being attended to by
track personnel. There's his car alongside the retaining wall in the front stretch. He got out under his own power, got into the ambulance. That's a good sign.
It is mandatory on a major speedway when you have an accident. You must go to the care center and be checked out.
And he took 2 hard shots. Glad to know he got in the ambulance under his own power. Let's go back to Ralph Shaheen. Ralph?
Well, they're still working on the car down here for Dave Dion. The crew is going to work on the back end of the car, trying to figure out what they can do to get it fixed and get it back out. They're talking about the panhard bar, that could be the problem. They're going to see about maybe replacing that panhard bar. Apparently, it's the bracket for the panhard bar that broke, and they're going to push him back behind the wall. It broke right off the frame of the car, and they're going to push him back behind the wall, see about replacing it, and then getting Dave Dion back in this race today.
Okay, what triggered that wreck? You see the left front corner of that car right there. McCarthy did not see Dave Dion on the outside, and he started off the corner, and of course they made contact. That threw Dave Dion over there.
And Martin Truex Jr. continues to lead. We are under caution. We've worked 19 laps of 100. We're going to take a .com 100. We're about set to go back to green. We had caution on lap 15. But let's take a look at what put us under the caution. McCarthy came smoking down there.
Yeah, well, he was coming off the corner and didn't see the number 29 of Dave Dion. Swung out wide. They made contact, and both of them got the outside wall.
And, buddy, I'm really impressed. Martin Truex Jr., 20 years old, a rookie, continues to lead this race.
Well, he must have been to the Dale Earnhardt racing school somewhere in this world, because he gets great jumps on the restart, just like Dale Earnhardt does.
And Ron Hornaday.
Yep.
Same school, didn't they?
Same group, same group.
Mike Johnson, another rookie there in the 96, started on the outside of row 1, hanging tough as well.
That's Ted Christopher in the 13, the white car there. He's also a modified driver up here, and he runs in the Southern Light Modified Series and has 2 career victories in this area.
Eddie Christopher also runs in the Modified Series, raced for years up here.
And you can always count on he and his brother to put on some of the best racing up here. His brother finished second in the Southern Light race up in Loudon not long ago.
All right, buddy, let's check in with Ralph Shaheen.
Well, we're with the former series champion, Dave Dion, who's sitting back behind the wall here. Dave, can you tell me what happened out there?
Well, I don't think the guy in the body one saw me. We were dicing back and forth. When he came up, we were right about the middle of his door. I'm really scared to death the kid was going to go over. I tried to get back up.
And we have caution number 2 on the racetrack. The 0 car of Bill Penfold involved with an incident with Denny Doyle in the 30, buddy.
Yeah, and that's you'll see a lot of accidents going into turn 1. Now, this long straightaway, and as 2 cars try to get in on the bottom side of the racetrack, normally they make contact entering, and that's what your end result is.
And, buddy, they're carrying a lot of speed into turn 1. It's hard for them to get slowed down and get the car turned.
Well, and they're on the brake, and the car is very light entry to the corner, so anybody touches anybody, and this sets off a chain reaction.
Jeff Berry in the 22, you see there, also involved in that incident, including Bill Penfold in the 0 car and Denny Doyle in the 30. This is our second caution here on lap 27. There we see the 30 car, track personnel talking to him. Denny Doyle up there alongside the wall, buddy. Didn't see what caused that accident. We'll see the tail end of what happened, buddy. Let's take a look. Hard to tell there, buddy. We saw 3 cars already up in, 2 of them already up headed towards the wall.
Yeah, and the initial contact was back up on the straightaway there, and the 3 cars just made contact getting in the corner there. Good to see everybody out. Denny Doyle walking across the racetrack in the blue uniform there.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break here, buddy. We'll reset the field. We're working caution number 2 here in Loudon. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to Loudon, New Hampshire. A short time ago, the green flag was unfurled, as Buddy Baker likes to say. We had 2 rookies in the front, Truex and Johnson. And then on lap 16, trouble, buddy. Joey McCarthy cut across Dave Dion. And then on lap 26, Bill Penfold, Denny Doyle, and Jeff Berry in that incident. We are back under green flag racing. Lap 50. Truex Jr. there in the 56, just 20 years old, continues to lead. He's led every lap.
You're exactly right, and the reason for that is he's driving like a veteran out there. When he catches traffic, he's very patient, but he better not wait too long. Just behind him, Kelly Moore has won this race 4 times, so he knows how to win. Right behind him, Teddy Christopher, who is very, very good on this raceway.
And, buddy, Kelly Moore into number 47, 19 wins, the all-time leader in the NASCAR Busch North Series, the 95 Series champion. He's also won more poles than anybody, 34. That's impressive. Let's check in now with Ralph Shaheen.
Let's see, the only thing that Martin Truex Jr. has been working on today as far as the race car is concerned is the center portion of the corners. That's where he's trying to get the car to handle just the way he wants it. He's trying to get a feel for when to get back on that gas, get his foot into it, and get that car to power off the corner. You need a good drive to the center of the corner so you carry as much speed as you can down the straightaway. Bob Gilmer?
And Teddy Christopher is very happy with his car, and he is just biding his time right now. He's a very aggressive driver, and that's very difficult for Ted, but he says he will definitely have something for the leader by the end of this race.
Well, he's got 48 laps to get it done. And let's talk about what Ralph just mentioned, buddy. Martin Truex Jr. there in the 56. Is it tough for a young guy to know how to get through these corners and get on and off the gas?
It is, and the one thing he has to do right now is he looks in the mirror and he knows that Kelly Moore is one of the great professionals in this division, is not to worry about him, to run his line, run that perfect lap, get on the throttle exactly where he's been getting on the throttle, and not let that car in the mirror bother his line around the racetrack.
Buddy, the number 22 there of Jeff Berry, he was involved in our second caution flag with Bill Penfold and Denny Doyle. He is not on his lap.
No, and he's not up to full throttle either. Go by him there, you can tell he was off the pace quite a bit.
And Truex, now, this may be difficult for Truex Jr., buddy. He's got to negotiate lap traffic, slower cars. So that could break his rhythm.
Well, the one thing he can do, he can use it for an advantage, just like he did right there. He timed that pass where he got by Barney McRae getting in the corner there in the 5, and that gave him a good run through the corner. Opened up about a 10-car lead and got the second, third place cars racing each other.
And I think Ralph Shaheen has more on Truex Jr., buddy.
Well, Steve, it's always tough when you're racing. It's even tougher when your crew chief happens to be your dad. Truex Jr.'s driving the car. He's hitting on the radio saying, guys, it's pushing. Truex Sr. hits back on the radio and says, hey, just limited. There's a lot more room after the wall.
Yeah. Now, buddy, you would know about that, racing with a father.
Yes, and my father was man of few words. He would have said, yo, if you got it, use it.
44 laps remain. Martin Truex Jr. trying to become the first rookie to win in this series since Brad Layton did it back in July of 1996 here at New Hampshire.
Yeah, and I was going to tell everyone that's watching these cars, oh, trouble on the speedway.
That's the car number 3 of Mike Bruno. You know, buddy, Mike Bruno had a great run here in May, finished in the top 10. He had over 2,000 laps of experience here. He's an instructor for the Richard Petty Driving School.
Yeah, and, you know, time behind the wheel, whether it's in driving school or you just name it, seat time is so very important, but he's gotten involved with another car. I would bet on that, getting into turn 3, and boy, he's got a lot of damage to that car.
Bruno was the Rookie of the Year in the NASCAR Busch North Series last year. Let's take a look at what happened. Well, I don't know, buddy.
He got down in the corner there, but that could have been a little bit of contact just as they started in the corner. I noticed that the cars behind him were checking up pretty heavily, so might have been light contact hitting him and Bruno in the left rear corner. And once you get outside, the upper side of this racetrack is just pure rubber dust and a lot of dust up there. So the useful part of the racetrack is right along in here. This part up here, you don't want to get up there.
So, buddy, what you're saying is, in effect, it gets even slicker the higher you go up.
Absolutely.
All right, well, Martin Truex Jr. continues to lead on lap 57 of 100. We'll take a short break and be back to make a run to the checkered flag. Buddy Baker, Ralph Shaheen, and Bob Dillner bringing you all the action of the ThatLook.com 100. And, buddy, there's a couple of interested spectators.
Yeah, Ned Jarrett and Dale Jarrett up there watching the race just like everyone at home there. And For the people that are not watching on top of the truck, they're watching inside of the haulers here. You notice on top of every one of the big haulers for the Winston Cup group, they have the satellite. So
DW catching some rays.
you can tell he's on his farewell tour. Look how he's laid back there.
He's taking it easy. Let's take a look at why we're working our third caution of the afternoon. Mike Bruno, last year's Rookie of the Year, buddy, to the right of the picture, gets hard into the wall.
I think he may have had a little bit of help. That's in the part of the racetrack where you're trying to get down to this area down on the low side of the racetrack and entering there. Somebody's on your left rear corner. You can't see them, so when you cut in, it's not really anybody's fault. It's just contact getting into turn 3.
Well, before they go green, we'll mention that Mike Bruno and Joey McCarthy, who was involved in an accident on lap 15, both are doing okay. And we are back under green. Martin Truex Jr. leads the field to turn 1, buddy. He's led wire to wire.
And another great restart. Looks like time after time today, he gets a tremendous jump on everyone on restart.
Truex leading Kelly Moore in the 47, Ted Christopher in the 13, Brad Layton, last year's champion. The number 55 is 4th, and Andy Santerre, buddy, has worked his way up to 5th.
Andy Santerre in the 44, this car right there, is making a great run towards the front. And every time he gets in on the straightaway, you notice him crashing there, pulling away from the wall to grab the car in front of him. He knows how to use that because of his experience in Western Cup cars.
Andy Santerre won the one of the Busch North races here last July after he won a Busch Series race in Pikes Peak, buddy.
Yeah, and you know, he just had so much trouble. He broke his leg there in Daytona on the back straightaway, involved with Michael Waltrip on the back straightaway. It took him a long, long time to get over that accident. And you know, when you're out of your ride, it don't take long for him to find somebody to replace you. He's now fighting to fight his way, trying to get back.
But he also told me that it hurt his confidence a little bit. When he was in that accident at Daytona, broke his leg very badly. That's an important factor for a race car driver.
Well, that makes one or two things. It really makes you understand the sport more and makes you more careful in situations, but it also makes you a better race car driver, where if you hadn't had it happen before, it's a big question mark.
Buddy, we're watching a battle for 8th and 9th. Dale Shaw in the 60, Tom Bowles in the 76. A couple of veterans there.
Yeah, they'll end up near the front before this day is over, because they are right now knifing their way up through traffic. And it's not real easy just to pull out and pass someone here. You have to set them up, getting in the corner, get up the side of them, and take that third line away. Just as you see right there. Of course, the guy on the outside there just stayed in the throttle a little extra and made his way into the corner ahead.
Buddy, I don't know. At this point, Martin Truex Jr. continues to lead. Now, Kelly Moore is making up time on him in the corners, but on the straightaway, the 56 pulls away.
So what he's doing right now, he's just running his line around the racetrack, and he realized Kelly Moore is punishing his car a little bit, trying to make up for a little bit of superior straightaway speed that Truex has. Kelly Moore is punishing his tires and really not able to close in like he should.
Kelly Moore, 19 wins in this series. 1995 champion, buddy.
You know, we're talking all the time about Kelly Moore not doing the right thing. He is right there. All it takes is Martin Truex Jr. one time. If he just slips, Kelly Moore gets there. All of a sudden, we have a side-by-side race, and when you got a guy like Kelly Moore, you can have a lot of trouble keeping him back if he ever gets up to you.
Paul Wolf in the number 54 car has gone to the attention of his crew on pit road. And meanwhile, Truex, buddy, I'll be quite frank, I'm surprised that a 20-year-old rookie has looked this smooth. I mean, we knew that he had a fast car, but a 20-year-old hasn't made any mistakes yet.
Yeah, but all I got to tell you is just remember Dale Earnhardt Jr. and those guys, they don't make many mistakes either. The younger group, they start driving go-karts and things when they're 7, 8 years old. By the time they're 20 years old, they're seasoned veterans because they have seat time in so many different divisions.
Kelly Moore has run every single race here in the NASCAR Busch North Series. 31 events here, buddy. That's impressive. He has 13 top 5s.
Yeah, and he's a winner on top of that. He's a guy that fought his way back from cancer and was treated for that. And on his return to the Speedway, he won his first event.
Boy, that's impressive, buddy. Let's check in now with Bob Dillner.
Well, I'm down here with Randy LaJoie, who is car owner for Teddy Christopher. Teddy running in the top 5 right now. He's got a great shot of the win. You know, I asked Teddy, is Randy a very nervous car owner? And he said, I'm going to make him nervous before this thing is over.
Teddy did a great job with the Ranger car. Brought it out to practice last week. Did a great job. Last year, come on board. Last restart, picked up a skip. Got something in the cabinet, I guess. I'm not sure. We'll do the best we can.
We'll see what happens here. Randy referring to Stafford last week. Teddy Christopher won that race in Randy LaJoie's car.
That's first and second right there, but just behind them, the battle for third is coming up. So they're getting closer and closer. Andy Santerre closing in on Teddy Christopher.
And, buddy, we're closing in on the final 25 laps of this race. We'll take a quick break and come back and see who will win the ThatLook.com closing 25 laps. And we have caution on the racetrack, Buddy Baker. This would be our 4th caution of the afternoon. I'm not sure what it's for yet, but caution has been displayed by the flag.
I see a little debris there on the front straightaway. It looks like a side went out of a car, just a small piece, right to start-finish line, about 25 feet away from it, or maybe 50 feet away.
And being told it might be Tom Carey Jr. in the 42 car. He's also a veteran of this series, trying to make it in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series as well.
Yeah, because that piece of debris I was talking about a second ago is no longer.
Now, buddy, let's talk about the closing laps here. 100-lap race, rather. Martin Truex Jr., Kelly Moore in the 47 is second. Teddy Christopher in the 13 is third. Andy Santerre and Brad Layton, we should mention, in the 55, defending series champion, is now fifth. Let's talk about these closing laps.
Okay, let's do it because there's something happened to the racetrack. If you noticed a while ago, we had complete cloud coverage over the raceway. All of a sudden, the sun's back out again. How long it'll be out, I don't know, but right now, the racetrack is changing. And anytime you have a flat track, it's very heat sensitive. So some cars that might have been killers on the cooler racetrack, now that the sun's out, may not work just the way they should.
All right, buddy, let's take a quick look at why we're under our 4th caution of the day. As we look at Andy Santerre there in the 44, running in 4th. And a look from our camera right on top of the wall. Ow.
Turn 4
Yep.
gets another one.
And you see the window. Yep, pop right out. Let's check in now with Bob Dillner, who has more on Andy Santerre.
Well, Steve, Andy Santerre may be the driver to watch at the end of this race. He's been saving his tires all race long. The crew just radioed to him, forget about it, buddy. Go, charge to the front. This is your race. Of course, he won this race last year. And the interesting thing, guys, he's actually racing a car built by himself. Over the winter, he put this car together, and he thinks he has this thing mastered here at Loudon today, to Ralph Shaheen.
Well, we're with Martin Truex Sr. up on top of the pit box talking to his son. Well, how are you going to coach him home in these remaining few laps here today?
Time just turn the mirror up and just make believe it's a Saturday night race. 25-lap race, go hard.
So if he looks in the mirror, he's looking the wrong way, huh?
That's it. You've got a good spotter up there, and just look ahead and go as hard as you can go. Next 20-some laps, I think he can do it.
I'm proud of you of the performance he's done here today so far.
He's doing a good job all year. We're fortunate enough to have a Ron Hutter motor. So he has a chassis. I mean, we've got some good equipment, and the kid's very mature for a 19-year-old. I think he'll have a great future ahead of him.
Well, Steve, equipment is one half of the equation, but sometimes, you know, that driver can make up for a lot. Martin Truex Jr. is doing a fantastic job here today.
And Buddy Baker likes to hear that turn that mirror up. We're going to let the rough side drag. About to finish this 100-lap race, NASCAR Busch North Series action. Martin Truex Jr. is the lead. In the lead, the pace car is off, and Buddy, we've got 12 laps to go.
Well, if you're holding anything back, you better make it happen now. You can see Andy Santerre looking to the inside, trying to get by the 44 car as he headed in the corner. Couldn't make it happen.
Truex Jr., the leader. Kelly Moore, the veteran, is second. Andy Santerre, who won last July at this racetrack, is third. Dale Quarterly, there in the 32, is fourth. Teddy Christopher is fifth.
And Martin Truex, the leader right now. Another great start. Oh, but he slipped right there coming out of turn 4.
Let's check in with Ralph Shaheen, buddy.
Now, Dale Quarterly behind the wheel, that number 32 is a former AMA National beating all the factory teams. So this young and up-and-coming driver is not so unaccustomed to beating some of the big dogs, Bob Dillner.
Big problems for Teddy Christopher. The motor is skipping in that left air kitchen car. He is down 300 to 400 horsepower. And guys, that will spell advancing for him at the end of this race. And buddy, right now, Ted Christopher's in the way.
Yeah, well, he's still getting about Dale Shaw on the outside up there. The car's still running well in the corner. We'll make a little contact there in the center part of the corner. But you see right there, as they start to accelerate, Dale Shaw drives back out front a little bit.
Yep, not going to use all the horsepower in the corners, but you sure need it on the straightaway. Take a look there at the 77. Brian Wall.
Yeah.
That's a battle for 14th position. And we're in the closing laps, as they say, how do you do? Mike Olson in the 61 and Mike Rowe in the 24.
Well, you don't have horns. Everyone, we can see that one coming. Oh, my goodness.
The 90 of Herb Druck hard into the wall. The 00 of Ben Rowe also involved in that accident. Caution on the racetrack. Buddy, we should mention this race cannot end under a yellow flag.
No, it's green, white checker. So it will be, it never ends under the caution in Busch North or race here.
Our sixth caution of the day. The flag is unfurled here on lap 93. There you see the 00. Ben Rowe also involved, the 90. Herb Druck.
Herb Druck hit just about his head on, you could hit into the wall there. The one good thing is he was getting slowed up as that wreck started happening, so he didn't go full force into the outside wall.
Let's take a look at the replays, buddy. The 24, the red car, that's Mike Rowe.
Mike Rowe gets a little touch there as they start in the corner, and you see Herb Druck right there comes up the racetrack, makes contact there with Ben Rowe, and both of them go into the outside wall very, very hard.
And we've got another angle here, buddy.
Well, that's Mike Olson in the 61 there. This wreck really started back there, and as they start in the corner, looks like Olson just goes in there and makes contact right there, and this really triggered the whole incident.
And that's a bad place to get loose. And you see the 90 car hard, the right front corner of Herb Druck into the outside retaining wall. And a lot of fluid left down on the racetrack. Personnel attending to Herb Druck there. He's from Troy, New Hampshire, in the number 90. Ben Rowe also in the 00 involved in that. Martin Truex Jr. continuing to lead. 5 laps remaining. We'll take a short break and come back and wrap up the ThatLook.com 100 here in New Hampshire. The Loud, New Hampshire. Steve Burns alongside Buddy Baker. Buddy, we are about to see a green-white checker shootout between Martin Truex Jr. and the veteran Kelly Moore.
Yeah, and you see the cars going back and forth, back and forth. What they're doing, they're cleaning the tires off because they do pick up the used rubber that they've already thrown on the racetrack and actually got a groove run in there. If you notice right through here, that's the racing groove, and there's a lot of rubber buildup in there. When you slow down with the hot tires, it picks all that rubber back up out of the racetrack and makes the tires very, very slick.
All right, buddy, let's check in on pit road. Rob Shaheen.
Well, Steve, the number 14 of Tracy Gordon started today's event 16th, and he has currently dropped all the way back to 27th. Now, the problem for him is brakes. Here at this racetrack, you carry a lot of speed down the straightaways, brake heavy going into 1 and 3, and the same problem has fallen on Brad Layton's number 55. He started in 3rd, and he has slipped all the way back to 10th. The problem for Brad Layton started from the very beginning of today's race, so he has actually done a fantastic job, Bob, of hanging in there.
Ralph, so is Kelly Moore right now, hanging in there. I walked over to his pit, and his crew chief, Jamie Lafano, told me he has something up his veteran sleeves for leader Martin Truex. They are certainly going to try to rattle that rookie's cage in the closing laps. What do you think about that, Buddy Baker?
And I'm looking right there at Andy Santerre sitting in 3rd spot. If these two guys go at it real hard, Andy Santerre may get by him.
And we're about to find out. Green flag. We're going to go green, white, and checkers. Martin Truex Jr., 19 years old, leading the
veteran Kelly Moore and Andy Santerre in the 44, Buddy Baker.
They've got a tiptoe through this corner. You can see the oil drive there. Every run gets through there clean. The racetrack looks good as they head down the back straightaway with 2 laps to go when they come back by.
And once again, Martin Truex Jr. with a great jump. I don't know if Kelly Moore's going to be able to get to him to rattle his cage, buddy.
If he's got anything, he better show it now because the white flag is out as they come down the front straightaway.
And the rookie, Martin Truex Jr., is 3/4 of a mile from his very first victory as his dad is about to look on.
He gets a little bit wide there, but so does Kelly Moore as they head down the back straightaway and into turn 3.
Truex Jr., his father watching, enters turn 3. Moore, can he get him, buddy?
If he's got a rocket ship, he might, but that's the only way he'll catch this young man.
Martin Truex Jr. heads to the checkered flag. He led all 100 laps, picking up his first victory in the NASCAR Busch North Series here in Loudon, New Hampshire. Kelly Moore finishing second. There's Martin Truex Sr. Andy Santerre was third, buddy, in the 44. Dave Johnson, the rookie, is fourth, and Dale Quarterly rounds out the top 5. But what a run by Martin Truex Jr.
Sometimes it's just nice to be young and fast, and that's what he was all day long. On restarts, nobody closed ground on this kid.
And Ralph Shaheen is with a happy father.
Yes, we are, Steve. We got Martin Truex Sr. here. What'd you say to your son on the radio after he crossed the finish line?
I said, you are the man. I mean, for a 19-year-old kid, that kid's got some maturity, I'll tell you. He listens so well. I mean, I won this race in '94, and I thought that was the happiest day of my racing career. This beats the hell out of that.
Is he as good as you, or is he going to be even better, you think, now?
Better. He got started younger.
He's on his way to victory lane.
Well, how about that, buddy? 19 years old. He wins here in front of a huge crowd, and we saw Richard Petty, Dale Jarrett, Darrell Waltrip. They were all watching him as you look at the rundown.
Boy, and you know, when he goes home, he beats Kelly Moore, the guy that owned this racetrack before. So many good drivers, so he knows that he's off and running for a great career.
And, you know, buddy, you've said this over the years, a great car doesn't drive itself.
Exactly right. Everybody talks about the great car, but it also has to be turned left, it has to stop properly, it also has to be very patient when you're getting through lap traffic.
What does it feel like to win your very first race, buddy? I remember you won your first race at Charlotte. What's it like?
Steve, honestly, I wish I could tell you. It's the greatest feeling in the world, but it's like winning a national championship or anything else, because all of a sudden, instead of just being somebody, you're there.
Well, look, he wins the race, 100 laps, buddy, and he can't get through traffic on pit road.
They'll wait on him. This kid, he did it all. Martin Truex Jr., what a great driver.
Never made a mistake. Let's go down to Bob Diller. Truex Jr. finally makes it to victory lane, Bob.
Well, Martin Truex Jr., his first win in the Busch North Series. The last time I saw this kid was last November at Wall Stadium, New Jersey, when he won the very, very traditional Turkey Derby modified race. He was very excited after that race, and I guarantee you he is going to be very excited getting out of this number 56 Busch North car here in victory lane. He is unstrapping right now. He's got a smile all over his face. His dad very happy. I'm sure his grandfather very happy as well. His grandfather, a former modified racer. Martin is getting out of the car right now. Actually, we're going to grab a little interview with him. Martin, I saw you at the Wall Stadium Turkey Derby there. You were happy then. This has got to be one heck of a race and a win for you.
Oh, this was awesome. I got to thank Billy Hess, brand new car, Ron Hutter for a great motor, and my dad for letting me do this, and all my sponsors. I can't believe it. This is awesome.
A few tears shed down here in victory lane, Steve Burns.
Well, Buddy Baker, a great feeling to win your first race. And as we said, he did it in front of Dale Jarrett, Richard Petty, all those guys. What a thrill.
Well, the whole racing world is here, and you can tell right there. 19 years old, winner's circle, it don't get any better than that.
All right, well, we've wrapped up a great 100 laps of racing here in Loudon, New Hampshire. I'm Steve Burns alongside Buddy Baker. Ralph Shaheen and Bob Diller caught all the action on pit road for you. Martin Truex Sr. celebrates his son's win. We want to thank all of you for joining us here on Ring and our